This video, I'm going to be breaking down the Bunch X Nasty in the Philadelphia Eagles offensive playbook. You can pair this formation with the normal live close, the trip side and flex, some of the best formations in the game. And again, this is just kind of meant to be essentially just a basic tutorial on this offense. Some audibles you can set are these. You don't have to, but these are just the ones that I like. I think this smash and go is kind of a cool play to start out with. So, what you can do with this smash and go that I think makes it really cool is you can go ahead and put this running back on you can stem this up. So you can stem this all the way up. And what that's going to do when you do this stem is it's going to basically turn this into a cheat motion streak. What I like to do here, a couple different ways in which we can run the play, but one of my favorite ways to run it is to drag the tight end, whip the slot receiver, and flat the outside receiver so it looks like this. And you just motion this out. And against cover two, you'll have a chance to hit this. You'll see you'll get kind of a speed boost off the line of scrimmage. This also kind of opens up for your underneath routes as well. If you wanted to actually have something specific that can bomb cover two, what I would do is just stem up the in route all the way, turning him into a streak, stem this up all the way, turning him into a streak, and then I would drag the tight end. And then on the back end of this, you could either leave it like this, or you could go back to that flat zig concept, curl flat concept, streak post. Any of those are effective. But what you're going to see is if they play you in this cover two, a lot of times this running back will kind of have potential to get over the top. The one reason why he wouldn't is because the rerouting, which is normally not going to happen in this game because I'm going to actually make that happen. So what will typically happen in this game is that reroute will happen if they are not setting zone drops. Most people are going to put their hooks on 5 in this game. And so that's where this can become really good is when he doesn't get rerouted. You'll see here, this is a pretty, yeah, I guess it's just not good. Okay, well, I guess just don't do that against cover 2. But then the other thing you can do against cover 2 that is good is this. So this is kind of the same idea. Um, I just like having the cheat motion primarily for man. But if they do run like cover 2, you can have that. Actually, show you, actually call the defense we're trying to show you this against. A lot of people like cover 2 in this game. And a lot of people pretty much have to run cover 2 to stop the seam streaks. And so, you get like a cover 2 coverage, and now you have the corner on this right side. Right now, if it's cover 3, cover 4, not quite as good. For that, what I like to do is this setup, but like to utilize this motion out kind of running back streak as a clear out now, and then we run it like this. And what this is really good against cover 4 hard flat. So cover 4 hard flat, cover 3, this is going to be a really good play. And the reason being is because you have a seam streak, but you also have this corner stemmed all the way down is really good against those coverages. It forces them to be in cover 2 on that side, which then you run a route combo like this. You're going to be in pretty good shape against cover 2. And wow. Okay, so enough of that play because that play is kind of driving me nuts. Now, motion speed dig under. So what do I like to do here? I'm just going to block the running back and drag the tight end and streak the solo. So what I like about this play is this is a way that you can attack kind of the left side of the field out of this formation. You don't have a lot of those type of plays in this. This is a good one. This speed dig, this dig on the left is going to kind of run a unique. He's going to kind of like go out and then come back in. So if you watch this in route, he kind of spaces out ultimately pretty well, as you see. So you have that nice crosser. A lot of people are going to run, cover 4 hard flat until you make them stop. So another setup I like is just double corner. So it looks like this. And again, you can do it like this. But anyway, what you see here is that quarter is going to go to that deeper corner, and then you have that one. Stuff like that. Smash return is really good. Just streak, drag, block, boom. Why is this good? Because if they're not putting their hooks on 5, this is gonna be wide open underneath every time. And again, I really like this setup. You need to be in spacing switch for this. quick. I feel like what makes this actually really good is the fact that you have spacing switch, because spacing switch has a really unique flat route to the running back that runs really quick. So what you can do is you go drag the tight end, whip route the slot, and then do a 15-yard in route to the solo. This and what you're really looking for is this tight end drag just gets into a real soft spot against most defenses. It's very difficult for them to defend that. And so what they basically have to do is put their hooks on five. And they also have to have two of them. They have to have one for the tight end. They have to have one for the wide receiver whip. And then if they have both of those, then normally this in route, this is a little bit more of a challenge to throw. But normally this dig is going to be kind of in a soft spot against this. So we see if we can hit it for you here. You kind of throw it like right there, possession, catch it. Gets to a kind of a neat little spot on the field. Another thing you can do off of this as well is you can do a slant streak combination, which I think is kind of cool. As you'll see here, how let's say, because again, they're going to have to hard flat. If they don't hard flat you, you need to throw this running back flat. It's a real smooth flat route, gets upfield real nice. You're going to get 10 to 15 yards on the flat, whereas a table route, you would probably maybe be lucky to get, 2 yards. But I like this setup as well with the slant and the streak, just because it really puts them in a bind on that left side if they're in cover four. The reason I like this setup is because the tight end little hitch is going to get into a nice spot. They have to have a yellow for that, and then they have this over here. So we're just trying to pepper them underneath, so that then what that ultimately does is obviously it opens up the outside plays. Double outs does have a little bit of a different type of whip route. So if you wanted to use that, you could. The one thing that I would do is I would motion this running back out so that I could then put the running back on the deep in route like this. So basically, you see how much more exaggerated that whip route is than like a hot routed one. So there's some pros and cons to that. You can kind of take advantage of that if you want to. But again, I really, really like this setup right here. I think this is a really good play because the running back flat just runs so fast. It's like the perfect flat route for what we want to do. So I really like this setup. Another setup that I like out of this is um, basically just streak, kind of just a 5 out like this. And essentially just a high low over the middle field. You have the drag, flat, and then if they set down on that, you have this deep post. It's really all I'm looking for there. I really like just building around this table route. So another thing I'll do is a curl. Every now and then I'll do like a curl here in the middle of the field. It's kind of hard to predict that, a lot of people just don't do that. And then what this allows me to do on this right side here is, basically just go back to that kind of cover two beater type of deal. I like to stem this corner down one, and the reason why you stem that corner down one is because if they actually shade their yellows down, which they normally will, if they don't shade their yellows down, you're going to throw the tight end drag until they do. But if they actually, do something like this, so now the yellow's not going to follow him, you're going to see that you can actually throw this pretty easily against an outside quarter. So I like to do that. Try to think other plays. Smash return. Another one that I like is this one. It's basically just dagger, right? But you have that tight end drag, which I really like, and then you have that whip route, and so I love that. I like that play a lot. Another setup that I like out of spacing switch is a drag on this outside, and then I'm going to block my tight end, so we're going to be a little bit more horizontal here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a post, but we're going to stem him up twice, and we're going to streak this outside guy. So this can be a pretty decent way to bomb cover three. As you see there, if I can actually throw it. Set this up for you again. So post, You just stem him up twice. You could do this to the tight end too, or you could if you want to do like that. That's fine. But basically, the idea here is really just trying to isolate this for this post, and I guess 22 is just going to make it so that we can't throw that. So let's just kick his feet together. Why wouldn't you? He's one of those guys. Let's try one more time here. If that doesn't, if we can't do it like this, we can always just put the corner route over there to the left, but try not to have a pull route. So you see here, like if I throw it right in that little pocket, I can kind of hit that against cover three. So that's a decent play. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you, another play, you can kind of come out in this or put this in your audibles, however you want to do it. But I wanted to kind of go over it with you. Is this play, where's it at? Drive corner, Z spot, corner dig. Where's that play at? I totally passed it. Must be this. I think it's this drive corner play actually. Come out on that now. So you have this post on the left, but you also have the speed in route to the running back. So what I like to do off of this is kind of bake verticals out of it. You can just put the wheels out here, and normally I'll stem this all the way up, but it's kind of similar to verticals. And basically, you're just looking for this running back right in that little pocket. So you have that. Another thing you have out of the play, I think if you did it like this, kind of a cover three beater like this too. So the idea here is that the corner route's going to pull this outside third, and then your post is going to get over the top. That yellow should never, ever, ever carry it like that if you're playing someone that knows what they're doing, because they're going to put their hooks on five, which I should have just done that. But like they're going to put their hooks on five, because if they don't put their hooks on five, like you're just going to pepper them over the middle all day long with zigs, with return routes, all of that stuff. So they're going to put their hooks on five. Like I'm pretty much guaranteeing you that they will. And so then if they do that, that's where this like post kind of gets in that soft spot and you can hit it against cover three. One cool thing about this is also there is some ways to manipulate match coverage in this formation that I feel like is worth at least looking at. So one of the easiest ways to manipulate match coverage is to go back to this corner route combination, and you can do it however you want on this left side, but basically something like this. And what you'll see is the match coverage won't be able to stay with that guy across the field. Another way that I like to manipulate match coverage is this motion speed dig under. I really like this play against match because match is going to struggle with crossing routes and dig, like stuff like that. So you see you're able to hit it that way. The other thing that I like is basically this setup right here against match. A lot of times the post can get open. I need to stem him up twice. But if we did something like this, you'll see match can sometimes get burned by this tight end post. But in general, another thing that you can do against match is like a running back wheel almost. And you'll see that he'll be one-on-one with the quarter on the left. So you have mesh spot that you could do that out of. But really, I think the easiest way to manipulate match is basically just crossing routes in general. Match is going to really struggle with in routes. So you go back to like smash return, you have stuff like that you can hit. But in general, just a lot of different little things you can do against match that I think is really good. I like this little whip route too. See look how open that whip route is. So please wear that out, because the whip route is like, it just opens everything else up for your offense this year. Another thing that I forgot to mention out of that first setup is you could do this too. So if you just think about like how people like to play defense in this game, I'm gonna use motion smash and go. Typically, it's going to be cover two on one side, cover three on the other side. So it might look something like this. And normally when they do this, you got to think like most people send four in this game, right? So like let's say we're sending this guy, and we're going to be sitting over here. The main reason they're sitting over here is because they want to guard the seam streak, right? So they're going to kind of If you think about like what their lurk's going to be, they're going to kind of get up into the middle of the field and try to take away the deep play. So what I like to do on this smash and go play is you have this running back clear out streak. What you can do is put a little whip route to this guy, and then on the left side, you really do whatever you want on the left side or on the right side. But what we're really looking for here is this little quick throw right there. Super hard to defend that in this game. So I like to use stuff like that to kind of take advantage of the fact that they most people are not going to have a yellow on the solo side. Which, if we go back to spacing switch, even another thing that makes this really good is this table route so good because it pulls everything. So what you can also do off of this is just a combo like this. Like this is a great play because watch this table route, just pull it, and then this is just an easy read. Like it's very simple to hit that. So this just really manipulates cover four, kind of gets them into positions where they're going to have to start putting yellows on both sides. And then when they start to have to put yellows on both sides, that means they're in cover two. And that means that this corner route is going to just cook over here on the right side. So this is some of my favorite, just quick rundown of the Eagles book that I really like. I can't stress this route combo enough to you though, because watch how fast this running back gets out there. It just clears out perfectly for this route. Like it's such a good play. And then you can even do a backside dig if you want to do I like the 15-yard in route because he can kind of just get in a soft spot of the zone. But and then let's say you play man against this. So here's man coverage. As you see, that tight end drag is wide open. Okay. So you're able to just really break down coverage well with this play, in my opinion. If you even wanted to, you could do a little corner route here to the left side. Why would you want to do a corner out to the left side? It just manipulates them if they're by stemming it down one, it manipulates them if they're in cover four or cover three. And so we're just forcing cover two on both sides, and then we're able to really, I think even a setup like this is pretty good against cover two if you think about it, because let's say they switch stick to the right side, or they try to get over there on the right side, then what you're going to be able to really look for here is this tight end streak right up the middle, which is just such a hard route to guard in this year's game. So anyway, that's the Eagles Bunch X Nasty. Some of my favorite plays out of it. Spacing switch is probably the best play out of it. But in general, thanks for watching the video. If you guys want to check out the Eagles offensive ebook, it is in our school community. $10 gets you access to everything in our school community, including our Eagles and all of our college and Madden stuff. So if you want to check that out, that link is in the description below.